Wellness Warriors, we get a lot of questions about what we actually eat. So Patrick has let me know today that we're going to talk about what we actually eat. Stressed. But we're going to do it anyway.
Your favorite
Hello,
topic.
Wellness Warriors. Welcome to Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet. Pat Chat Edition. I'm Violet.
And I'm Pat. So instead of talking about what we eat, today we're actually gonna show you what we eat.
Oh, even better.
So,
Okay.
Even better. So you're gonna see our culinary talents and like
My lack of culinary
and
talent.
my culinary talent, your lack of culinary talents. But no. The goal of the video, I think, is also to show you that keto is not a low calorie. You're gonna see like stuff that we present are often high calorie, like the regular amount, like 1500, 1700, 2000 calories. Very low carb. Actually, we've been taking pictures for a couple of months now to make that video, so that's gonna be
You've been taking a
interesting.
lot of pictures. I think I've taken a few,
A few.
as I don't remember to do those things.
So-
but so let's go. So
So, yeah.
how do we want to start this?
Let's go with our top favorite meal that we cook. Actually, so
Oh my goodness, my favorites have changed a little bit over the last little while. Well, 100% I'll say pizza is still on the top three. And interestingly enough, like pizza is in the top three, although I don't make it very often.
But people are gonna say, pizza? Is she crazy? Pizza? Like you have pizza dough? How do you make your dough?
So I make a all meat pizza, and the recipe came from someone. Oh, Keto Connect.
You connect? Okay.
I don't know if they were the originators of the recipe, but that's where I saw the recipe.
And let's say you have like multiple options of doing a keto pizza crust. Like it can be like the fat head that we didn't really like. We may, but but you're the pizza master. Like
Yeah. So I didn't like
so-
fat head. I didn't like
But
cauliflower.
the cauliflower we did try one with the pork rinds, actually pretty good.
Actually, the pork rind ones, when we had the right pork rinds, I actually did like, but it's so much work.
It's work, yeah.
Like the honestly, chicken crust pizza is so easy. It's just like really easy. But Keto Connect, you can actually look them up.
And we do it
But with their recipe though, so maybe I shouldn't say that. I was inspired by their recipe. I don't use their recipe. Honestly, what I use is chicken breast, and an egg. And like as long as the chicken breast is like small enough, like it's cut up small enough, and then you mix an egg in with it, it makes a pizza crust. They have like other ingredients that they're adding in and like trying to make it, I guess, a recipe, but it's unnecessary. Like if you kind of know how eggs work, it works.
When we do it at my place, I will buy a couple vegetables like low glycemic, but you don't put like any vegetables.
I think the
But-
point though is that like
Yeah.
if we make pizza, like the possibility of there being vegetation on our pizzas depends.
Yeah.
Like first of all, there will never be any peppers on my pizza, but occasionally I might put what do you call those things? Mushrooms. Occasionally,
yeah.
but usually I just
Yeah.
have the meat
Yeah, it's the meat and the
Cheese.
sauce and the cheese. Yeah.
and sauce. Yeah.
Okay. For me, my favorite. It's funny enough, but like I really do like a steak, like steak with salad or steak with veggies, especially on the barbecue. That would be my top favorite. If I had like, we had a comment on one of your video, like what would be the three things. I think steak would be on top of my list. Sometimes I'm gonna melt blue cheese on it. This is my top favorite.
So my next one would probably be lasagna made
Oh.
with zucchini.
Okay, yeah.
So it's one of the few times that there's a large amount of veg in it because it's lasagna made with zucchini. It's loaded up with meat and cheese.
Yeah,
So
but it's also like fall in the category of more work, because you need
Yeah,
to,
that's why I don't eat it very
remove
often.
the water of the otherwise make
yeah, so I have to bake those zucchinis, the sliced zucchini to get the water out, and like so it's a process to make it. Again, I only ever make it when the kids ask for lasagna. So if they're having a lasagna, I'll make a lasagna for us.
Before we jumped on the keto journey, we loved going to an Indian place in Montreal, and it was like, we were going like often, so having butter chicken and the rice and the naan bread, and I did find one that was very good at Banger's Kitchen. So like I'm making the rice out of cauliflower. So grated cauliflower, you fry it in a pan. But the butter chicken, by definition, is chicken and a little bit of tomatoes and butter and cream. So keto standard, keto friendly by default. And what else? Oh yeah, the naan bread out of coconut flour.
Yeah.
So a little bit
We
of
actually
cocoa
changed the recipe again there as well, right? Because
so,
he had both coconut and
and
almond,
almond.
and we
Yeah,
took the almond out because I wasn't reacting very
good.
well. So we just did it with all
Yeah,
coconut flour, and I do better.
and your daughter loves it. Like it's one of
Yeah.
the
It's one of her favorite meals actually that we make.
yeah.
Although she has a normal naan bread, but it's one of her
Yeah.
favorite meals. Everything else, well, not they.
But she has rice.
We give
too,
them real
but
rice.
Yeah,
We give the kids real rice.
but
They don't really like cauliflower
but
rice.
getting her to eat meat, that's the the real challenge there. And she does it with that meal.
Well, it's funny
So
because she eats meat when she feels like eating meat. Like if it's chicken, she's gonna eat it. Like the multiple meals that we do, but like if I try to give her anything else, it's a
okay.
wrestling match.
What about your?
I think there's
what?
one more that I want to name in
Okay.
terms of favorite, which is a kind of it came back recently
Okay,
is the
okay.
fisherman's eggs,
Oh yeah, true.
and it's
Okay.
sardines and eggs together. Again, not my original recipe. For life of me again don't know this one. I really don't know who came up with it first. But fisherman's eggs, you look it up. It's easy to find, and it's very well, we make it with broccoli. I don't know if there were other veg that were supposed to be in there, but we just use the broccoli to make it, and it's delicious.
Yeah, yeah.
Delicious.
Indeed. I actually, yeah.
Do you have a third or no?
Eh?
Do you have a third favorite or no?
If I have a third favorite, no, I was just about to say that like I don't do the fisherman's egg for myself, but like when I eat yours, like they're really really good.
It's funny. There's things that I make that you don't make. Like I make the pizza.
yeah,
I
and
make the fisherman's
yeah.
eggs.
But I think
I make the
I'm-
lasagna. What the heck? Wait a second. How
What do I
come all
make?
the hard things I'm doing? Oh no,
I
you
don't
do
know.
the butter
The
chicken
butter
stuff.
chicken like takes
Yeah.
it takes a good time to
It's
do.
like you just throw everything on the barbecue, and it's like so simple. Like I'm all doing all this
It's
kitchen
true.
work.
I'm a bit lazy.
Maybe that's why I
though.
hate cooking so much. But anyway,
Sometimes, honestly, just a pizza. I think I'm way too lazy to make a pizza. I'd rather have just a steak or a piece of meat with vegetables.
well, that brings
Um,
us to the next section
The next
because
section, yeah, the go-to meals. Like I was curious, like what's your go-to meal? Like
okay,
very
so my
simple,
go-to
15
meal that
minutes
I like have often would be a pork chop like a fried pork chop. That would be a go-to meal. It's easy. It doesn't take like long to do. Spice it up, throw it in the pan. I don't even have to watch it much because I have it timed how long on each side. I put it in the pan. One for me, one for my daughter. I fight with her to eat it, and then like I walk away.
with your like and as a side of the pork chop,
Oh,
like the olives
like
and some
it
cheese.
it could be that I have. So if I'm having a pork chop, chances are very good I'm either having avocado and cheese or olives and cheese. If I'm having a pork chop.
Okay. Okay. My go-to meal, eggs. I think eggs. Like, if I don't have my boys, for example, and like I'm eggs. So like whether I do an egg salad, put them like with my avocado, or egg salad with some pork rinds, fry them.
Okay, so my next go-to meal would be salad with some kind of meat in it. So whether it's
Yeah.
shredded pork or chicken in a salad or ground pork in a salad. That's my and like I
definitely.
mean like that is something that I probably could eat every day, except I don't like cleaning salad, so that's why I don't have it as often. But like if I
Oh,
could,
you used to before. Yeah, I think you used.
I
to
used to have it
before.
much more often, but I'm just lazy. I don't like cleaning salads, so but I do have it
Yeah.
at least every other week for
She
sure.
kind of actually relies on me.
And then I have it whenever you're around, because then you can clean the salad for me. But that's a great go-to for me.
Definitely. And like most of our salad or Caesar salad is still like Caesar salad, and we just vary on the meat. We sometimes put chicken in it, or like you said, ground pork, or even at my place, it like is gonna be like with a piece of meat, a steak that I did put on a barbecue. So yeah, for me too, it's like my second go-to choice. Another category that we can like tackle is easy meals. Like sometimes you don't want to cook at all.
Okay.
Like you want to spend not more than 5 minutes in the kitchen.
So on my side,
Yeah.
my easy meals are the eggs. Like it's either going to be scrambled,
Okay.
omelet, or egg salad. So with chicken in it. Actually, I've experimented with egg salad with tuna in it as well. I like that too.
Okay.
So any kind of like egg dish, if you see me making eggs, is because, with the exception of fisherman's eggs, that actually takes a lot more energy to make. But if I'm just doing like a straightforward, that's because I'm not feeling it today. I don't want to cook. I don't want to be in the kitchen.
Okay. If I really don't feel, or I'm like, sometimes I remember I was like maybe short on time, like to the point where even eggs were too long, I'm gonna grab a few stuff that I have around. Like it's gonna be like a piece of cheese, some pork rinds, for example, with an avocado that I'm gonna mush like in a guacamole. So like I'll have like the fat from the. So I try to make like
Like a high fat energy boost.
yeah, this like smart, but like with smart decisions. So I'm like cheese, the avocado, the pork rinds. If I feel I don't have enough proteins, like I do it like once in a while. Take some cooked ham, like lunch meat, and I'm gonna take a few slices. But we need to be careful because I usually say like 1 carb per 2 slices. So I'm gonna take like 3 or 4 slices, and more than that. And I have like some kind of interesting and filling meal out of that. If
Okay.
I have nuts, I'm gonna take a few nuts too. But like I try to avoid. I've been trying to avoid them lately. But like yeah,
I'm not hearing you.
and or even like I'm gonna put here like the avocado with eggs, a little bit of chicken salad. Like I know I have a boy that likes his sandwich with chicken salad, and it's like 0 or 0 point something carbs because basically like chicken and mayonnaise that I buy. Takeout, favorite takeout.
Oh,
Like,
my favorite
especially
takeout.
like oh, but let's like do two part, like because right now we're kind of a little bit forced to do takeout because all restaurants are closed. But what's your favorite restaurant
Oh,
before?
well,
Like,
my
even
favorite
before?
takeout comes from my favorite restaurant, though.
Oh, okay. Okay,
So like
okay.
I like high on my. I have two like high on my favorites. So my favorite restaurant, which has the takeout, is Marathon. So like it's a Greek
Mm.
place that has like this nice donor plate, and they are able to make my salad without any onions and without any tomatoes. And if we remember to ask, they'll give me
Mm.
extra
Olives.
olives,
Mm.
and it's with feta cheese, which is a cheese that I love. So that's my favorite restaurant. Um, but I have a second favorite restaurant too that like makes a great like big salad, Elixir. And like
Oh,
that restaurant, like
oh,
if I was
okay.
gonna go like my two favorite favorites, although I mean at one point we were going there so often I didn't feel like going anymore.
Yeah.
But like if I really want a salad, like they put a good amount of chicken in their salad, and if I ask for changes, they're really easy to give me
Yeah,
changes.
that's true.
So I often take out all the carby things, like again the onions and all this stuff, and I
The
add
potato.
extra
Mm.
bacon. And they do that really easily for us, and it's not
There
not
is
even a question mark.
yeah, that's important. Like when you find a restaurant where they're willing to do replacement and adjustment to your meal, like without
Oh, I
any
know which restaurant you
problems.
were gonna
Yeah,
say.
yeah, that's mine. Yeah. I was surprised that you didn't mention it, but yeah,
Scary that you let me go first.
yeah, my favorite restaurant, like the barbecue, like the Korean barbecue place.
Oh,
You're
that's
not
not what I
even
was gonna say.
okay, but yeah, we have a Korean barbecue place.
Oh,
That one
that's
I do miss because like
oh yeah,
basically it's all
it's
you can eat. But we
meat,
honestly,
more
yeah,
meat.
more meat. Yeah, we
Okay.
when we leave that restaurant, we're really full. It's not some place where you eat to satiation, I would say,
Actually, it's
or one of
funny.
the
I do feel
the
like at the beginning when we were going there, that was the truth. But now I find that we eat
uh,
less and less. So like when we go
okay,
there, I feel like
maybe.
remember like when we were going like really regularly.
Mm.
Like I think at the beginning it was so exciting to be able to try all these meats, but eventually it was kind of like okay, it's a nice
Yeah,
restaurant,
it's
but
true.
yeah,
It's true.
we got better.
but
We did get
but
better.
but yeah, it's an all you can eat menu, and there's a lot of meat. The only vegetable we have is like the lettuce leaf that we do
And
your little
mushrooms,
wraps.
mushrooms.
Sometimes mushrooms, sometimes zucchini, but like the
Oh,
last few
zucchini.
times,
Yeah,
the last few time we went, we didn't like even take any of those
yeah.
of
I mean, it depends. I guess it depends on
vegetables.
our mood.
Yeah.
And there's another restaurant. Are you gonna say it?
Wait.
I,
So this is my favorite. The marathon, like as for takeout, honestly, like it became a once every other week thing. Our Friday restaurant. I do like that. Do like the donor and the salad. Like is
no, that's not
good.
the restaurant. Come on. There's one more restaurant.
McDonald's, no. No,
Fried
okay.
Caesar
Oh,
salad.
there's a little place like downtown. Yeah, but there I don't think they do take out. But yeah,
They
we
don't do
did.
takeout, but like that was
Oh
like
yeah.
when we were able to go to a restaurant and when we were going to be able to go again.
Oh,
I
it's
hope they're
nice. Yeah.
still open. But that was
Yeah.
the most delicious fried Caesar salad
Yeah,
with
basically
chicken. Oh, it was great.
their chicken was actually chicken thighs, not even chicken breast.
Yeah, it was just a great.
It
It was
was
a
like
great restaurant.
with big piece of bacon.
I'm
Yeah, it
not
was really
sure.
good.
I'm not 100% sure if they're closed,
Think
but I hope they're
so,
going to be
but
open when
yeah,
everything opens back up. So
me too.
that restaurant, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that restaurant. What was the name of it? Do you remember? Maybe if we remember, we'll put the name on the screen.
Yeah.
Before we move on to desserts, I want to just point out, like, we're showing you images on the screen as we go along, and I just want everyone to pay attention to how large the servings that we have that we're talking about are. So, like, no matter what plate you're seeing, like it's either mine or Pat's, like the point being, like, look at how much is on the plate. Look how big those pieces of meat are. Look at how much food we're actually eating in our one meal. We often get questions of how do you get all the nutrients in one meal a day. One of the things I want to point out, even though this is kind of a side note, even if all we ate was the meat that was on the plate, we'd be getting enough. The vegetation's for fun. Okay, just like making that clear. But like, we're never hungry like at the end of our, and we say this every time, but I'm going to say it again. It is like 5:45. Neither of us have eaten since. Actually, last night we ate a little bit later than usual, so it's not as big of a fast this time. Last night we ate around 10.
Around 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30, 10. Normally we would have eaten around 8. But like, we go a full day between eating easily. We have one coffee. Well, I have one. Sometimes you have two.
No, mostly one.
Okay, so we both have one coffee in our day, and easily we make it. So I also want you to look at the size of our plates. Don't be afraid to eat when you're eating. Right? If you allow yourself to eat when you're eating, then you'll make it to the next meal. Don't stuff yourself, but eat when you're eating. Stop when you're satiated. I'm thinking about myself yesterday. I threw away some salad. The day before, I didn't finish my salad. The day before, I threw away some olives. I'm constantly ditching bits and pieces off my plate because, okay, I'm done. I'm not hungry anymore. Like, don't be afraid to eat, but also stop when you're satiated. Don't stuff it in just because it's on your plate.
Yeah. So like you said, those are the standard size. We never go under that. Like, we don't artificially limit the size of the salad or the piece of meat or like.
And if I can't get through it, I can't get through it.
Yeah.
If I eat it all, I eat it all. Right? Like, it's just, and by the way, all the plates that you're seeing, so all the plates are actually full-size plates. Right? Like, everything is, there's no little plates. We don't do that. Like, they're all full-size plates of today.
But that's interesting. Like, you saying that, yes, last night we ate at 9:30, 10. It's another proof that, like, I arrived home, we were busy on the video, we're not hungry around 8, like we at around 8, like we usually are. Or
Well, if
like
you weren't,
when we eat,
if we weren't doing something, we probably would have eaten.
Maybe,
Right? But we were busy doing stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
I think at one point you said to me, are we having supper tonight?
Yeah,
And I'm
and-
like, okay, there is food, so we probably should eat it. You know, but it's like, it wasn't like we were like dying. It was just more like, how am I adjusting myself for the rest of the night?
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like this is the thing that I want everyone thinking about. So I just want to put that out there. All the images you're seeing, what they represent.
Okay.
These are normal meals for us.
January is a big month. I have my birthday. Your daughter has a birthday. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm on the 14th, daughter like 19. My boy's on the 8th.
So all of that to say that what happens on the occasions where we do choose to have some kind of dessert, and how do we manage it? And so what was interesting is that, and we're going to see in our image, what we have is a birthday cake. So there was Patrick's cake. The boy's cake was the big chocolate cake. And my daughter's cake, which was the little vanilla cake. And for clarity, just so we know, like, the chocolate cake that was for Pat, which is the little one in the middle, we had half each. That was a serving. So, and that serving put us like close to our numbers, if I remember correctly. Like, it was like, even that half serving put us like I remember, I don't think I had any, I think I only had meat that day. I think we both only had meat that day, if I remember correctly.
So.
Yeah, because like, if we wanted to be able to have cake with the kids. And so this is, again, that story where I said to you, you know, like, I'm never going to tell you guys never do something, because the truth is there are going to be occasions, right? But like, we set our day up. So first of all, I made the cakes. So everything that's in that little cake is things that we can eat. So there's no almond flour in it, because that bugs me. So it was a completely keto friendly with ingredients that both of us are able to eat. And we kept our number under 20. And so, and then my daughter had the little cake. She doesn't, again, like,
it's more like a mousse than a cake, actually, for
our
ours.
cake?
Yeah, for our cake. Like, is it the one
it's
that
a peanut butter.
Oh yeah,
tart
true.
thingy.
Okay.
So it's actually not a cake; it's a tart.
It's,
If
yeah.
you're gonna make that correction, okay.
The
Sorry.
chocolate is mostly avocado, if I remember correctly, because
Yeah.
I don't like. I'm way too lazy to make something like that. So I wait every year till my birthday.
Actually, no, it's not. This the mousse is avocado. Sorry,
The
you have it
the
backwards.
okay.
The mousse is avocado and chocolate.
Because you have a little crust with coconut flour and like probably other stuff. We had like a layer of peanut butter,
A peanut butter.
and then like the chocolate mousse with the avocado. Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously like dark chocolate, like 100%, like
It's cacao powder.
oh,
Cacao powder.
Oh, okay, so there's not even like it's not even your grocery. See, so
Okay.
I just
So
enjoy it.
obviously, and one of the reasons that he and I can have something like that is that because during the year we have no sweet, that when you eat, and so like the positive of putting down fruit, for example, is that when you eat something like that, it's to actually taste sweet,
Yeah,
right? Versus like I know for a fact if anyone else would taste this, they'd be like, what?
yeah.
But for us, it tastes delicious because we don't eat anything that's sweet. So like obviously, the point of showing you this is that if I'm gonna celebrate, and we did want to celebrate Patrick's birthday, we were not going to eat any regular cake.
Yeah.
Right? And so, and even if we would have done the kids' birthdays separately, like I probably still would have made a little cake if we were planning to have cake. If we both decided we weren't going to have any, then I wouldn't have done it. But since we were doing all 3 birthdays on the same day, it just made sense. Another option, like there are other cake options, by the way. Like there's the chocolate lava cake that I did one time with the peanut butter like
there's the
middle.
nuts with the candle. I'm gonna
There's
put
the
it on
nuts
screen.
in the with the candle that you
That
did
I
on my
for you
birthday.
on your birthday, yeah.
Well, we just wanted to let you see that if you're going to do something, there's a way to do it and stay within your numbers. Again, we had half because we knew that would keep us in our numbers. And then, of course, the next day you go back to eating normally and get back to plan.
Yeah.
Did I make a little hole in my system by eating some artificial sweetener? Yeah, right? I want everybody, and you know, don't say because Violet did it, do better than me. Obviously. But it's doable is what my whole point, right? I'm never going to tell you guys that I'm doing everything perfectly because that would just be lying. I want you to know that, though, as Pat said, that was in January, and we fast forward to now, haven't had anything.
Yeah.
Haven't had any artificial sweeteners besides soda, which we're still working on.
So as you can see, maybe except for the pizza, except for the buttered chicken, everything we showed here like doesn't take much more than half an hour to cook, like to cook, to bake, to not to bake but to cook. Yeah, the cake takes long obviously, but like yeah, so most of the time we don't spend like an hour and a half in the kitchen every day.
Can you imagine
It's
if I
really,
had to spend
really,
an hour
really
in the
fast,
kitchen?
yeah.
I would never eat. Like, honestly, I
yeah.
hate it that much. I think
So-
what we're trying to help you to see with these images, and you're asking us, what do we eat? Simple.
Yeah.
Like, actually, I feel like there's more there than I even thought. I'm like, you know, we're showing you pictures, and hopefully you're going to show all of them, even the ones we didn't talk about. But there's more there than I even thought. I think that I'm just so used to going to my go-tos that I don't think about like all the other things that I cook sometimes. I hope what we've shown you here is that it doesn't need to be so complicated. Like there's a simple way to eat healthy, and to be delicious without it being so complicated. And then on the few occasions where you have the time, you make the more complicated thing,
Yeah,
right?
on weekends.
Or if you're in the mood for something a bit that takes a bit more energy, you make that. But simple. Eggs are so simple. They're cheap. They're simple. Like you can have them so many ways that you could have a different meal every day, probably for 5-6 days in a row. We didn't talk about chicken. I eat chicken very often as well, with again whatever vegetable beside, or I throw it in a salad. Simple. If you would like to help us to stay independent, what you can do is check out the links in the description below. That helps us to make these videos without there being a sponsor.
If you like the video, please like, subscribe, and share the video to like your friends and like as many people as possible. That would be greatly appreciated, and it helps us.
What's also going to help you is to click on the videos that are on screen right now. They show how you can improve your physical and mental health. Wellness Warriors, love making these videos for you guys. Everybody who's new, thanks for dropping by. I want to thank you for watching Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet, Pat Chat Edition.
Talk to you next week.
Talk to you next week.